So good evening, everyone. I hope the screen is visible and it is audible to every one of you. Is it right? Yes, right. So let me start today. Sorry for joining late. Right, let us start. See, yesterday I was discussing about the syllabus and I said how to link from the syllabus your questions or how to extract answers from the syllabus itself. Hope, yes, there are two persons who have sent me the remodification of the syllabus. That is completely fine. You have remodified it and you have sent it to me. Yes, there are some things that you can change it, but it is okay. I'm a bit satisfied with what you have done. So, and the second necessary thing now is after re-editing that, after re-editing the syllabus and after grouping the syllabus as per yesterday's discussion, what I require you is to remember that syllabus. I had the syllabus, okay? In that order, in the order which you have sent, right? So can you please send in the group? What do you want? Manavna, it is not clear. Remodified one. Which remodified one? Acha, okay. Syllabus. Right. Okay, I'll share it in the group. But I want some more modifications to be done by people. If that is done, I'll send it to you. So this is the thing. Remember the syllabus. Once this is done, let us look at the. Hope you do remember what is the syllabus by today. Right? First chapter is ethics, essence, determinants, consequences, human actions, dimensions in human actions. Dimensions of ethics. You have ethics in private life and ethics in public relationship. I said what is the relation that you can link with this civil servants here. And then attitude, aptitude, emotional intelligence, contributions of thinkers, right? This is what we discussed. Today, I am going to discuss how we have to extract answers from previous year questions, right? That is what I am doing. Right. So let me start this. This is sent by Ravli, right? As per the syllabus, he has modified, but let us look at what are the dimensions that you are going to get from the previous years to the present day's discussion or today's discussion. That is the thing. Now, the first thing is ethics and human interface, essence of ethics, determinants of ethics, consequences of ethics in human actions, dimensions of ethics, ethics in private and public relationships. This is the first thing that you have. Now, the thing is, look at this. Essence of ethics means importance of ethics in human actions, consequences of ethics in human actions, how they are going to benefit the people. That is what we are going to discuss in this. Ethics contribute to social and human well-being. I said that you have to start at the individual, go to interpersonal, and then go to the societal level. They themselves given ethics is contributing to social and human well-being. In the essence, this is one point that you can directly lift and write. And then you have to say how it is contributing to social well-being. Say, for example, it is, what is the example that you can write for social well-being? It is the values of peace and non-violence which made India to get independence with the least bloodshed. And this is an outliner as per Professor Bipin Chandra. You might have studied this in your history, right? So this is substantiation. Because of ethics, it has contributed to the well-being of the society. How? The entire Indian society's independence was laid on ethical values of peace and non-violence. So this is how you have to substantiate. What I am discussing is, I am discussing the previous year questions, the reorganization of the syllabus, reorganization of the previous year questions. I am going to discuss this and how you can take from previous year questions. That is the thing that I am going to discuss. Now, laws and ethics are considered to be two tools for controlling human conduct. so as to make conducive to civilized social existence. Now, there is one question, what is the difference between laws and ethics? Right, in previous year questions. Now, in order to know what is difference between law and ethics, first what you should know is law and ethics. Law is one part of ethics, and ethics to some extent contains law, right? Are considered to be two tools for controlling human conduct so as to make it conducive to civilized social existence. Now they are saying here itself, ethics are considered to be a tool for controlling human conduct so as to make civilized social existence. So whenever you write essence of ethics, it helps or it contributes to the well-being of the humans. You can immediately write the next point at the human level, that is at the personal level or the individual level, human level. It is a tool for controlling human conduct so as to make conducive to the civilized social existence. If you write this, it becomes a point. Now I am discussing about essence. You have one point here. In order to substantiate this, you have a sentence here and you will have an example, right? Now, ethical issues involving reappropriation of funds from welfare projects to developmental projects. Now, this is one ethics, ethics in governance. Essence of ethics, I said ethics essence can be found even in polity, even in governance, right? Now, whenever you are addressing ethics in governance, or whenever you are addressing the so-called topic of good governance, remember this is the thing that you have to do. Good governance includes appropriation of funds and reappropriation of funds from a welfare project to the developmental projects. What are the ethical issues involved in reappropriation of funds? The question is, you have to remember fund allocation in governance, and there is one thing called misallocation of funds or under allocation of funds. This is one point. And using of fund. One second. Right? Yeah. Okay. This is helpful. So using of funds in governance, it is a very important aspect. What is this using of funds? That is underutilization of funds and unutilization of funds. These are all related to appropriation of funds. Whenever you are thinking about funds, you have to think how much funds are allocated, whether that is sufficient or not, how much they are used, whether it is unused or whether it is underused, right? Or whether it is overused. These are the things that you can write in ethics in governance. At the same time, whenever you are following ethics in governance, it is going to be an essence of ethics. See, first what I said, in order to answer essence of ethics, I said you to write at individual level, at interpersonal level, at the political level, at the governance level, at the economic level, at the environmental level, at the international level. These are the dimensions on which you can think to extract the answer. Now the question is, when these are the dimensions that is available for you, what you have to do is, you have to take one dimension and you have to explain in this way. Whenever you are taking governance, whenever someone is following ethical means in governance, then it is going to lead to good governance. For example, whenever there is appropriation of funds or reappropriation of funds, then these are the concepts that one can do. So this is how you can write the answer. And then one dimension you can write in environmental ethics, right? You can say any example which is causing environmental degradation and you can link it with ethics. When you are following some ethical means, then there will be a sustainable development, right? In that angle, you can think something. Ethical management and management of ethics. This is a separate term that they have asked you previously. This leave it. Discrimination and preferential treatment. You can use this in ethics in public administration or civil services, where whenever you are using the terms called partisanship, and integrity and impartiality. Right? One dimension, whenever you are writing these answers on partisanship or impartiality, then you have to think about showing discrimination leads to the so-called partisanship or impartiality, depending on whether you are showing it on a group or whether you are showing it for an individual. Right? That is the difference between partisanship and impartiality. Right? Then you can use that there. Now, ethics in personal and professional life. Whenever you are writing essence of ethics, you have to write ethics in. Ethics is going to help you to come out of the dilemma, because if you are following ethics in your personal life, more or less it is going to be adding value to your professional life also. So in that way, you can think one more dimension. Now, what I'm going to say is these are the dimensions on which you can frame the answer. No need to read any book. Now, see the eighth question. An act is ethically right, but not legally, and an act is legally right, but not ethically. They are saying this. So if you look eighth question with second question, laws and ethics are considered two tools for controlling human conduct so as to make it conducive to civilized social existence. Now they have asked the same question. An act is ethically right, but not legally. An act is legally right, but not ethically. Now they have given two statements and they are asking you to substantiate that from one dimension and the other dimension. But your conclusion will be the same thing. That is, second thing will be the conclusion. Because laws and ethics, they are considered as tools which are very important for ensuring that there is social harmony, because it regulates the human conduct. So this is how, whenever you are writing something about the sources of ethics, there is one concept called sources of ethics, laws, rules, regulations, right, in the syllabus, right? You have to link one source is ethics is coming from laws, and then they will ask what is the difference between law and the so-called ethics. This can be also used in case studies, because they will ask you, they will give you some ethical dilemma and they will tell you whether you will follow law, whether you will follow ethical stand. For all those, second point will be the answer. Conclusion will be your second thing. An act is ethically right, but not legally. Here you will defend this and you will defend this, but you are going to write again the second answer. Second point answer. It is important to be ethical along with being professionally competent. Now, this is ethics in public administration, or what is, it is important to be ethical along with personally competent. This is in aptitude. Aptitude is the talent to solve a problem, right? Now, whenever you are aptitude, I think it is in third part, right? In the syllabus. You have to use this. It is important to be ethical along with professionally competent. Never think that only aptitude is important, but ethics is also important. Never think that only ethics is important, but even professional competency is also important, right? The same thing, you can go and stretch it in aptitude. So whenever you are writing about aptitude, you have to think that only ethics is not important, even aptitude is important. But even only aptitude is not enough, even the so-called ethics is important. Why? There is one statement. Let us look at this. To substantiate this, you have one statement. Socrates, Abraham. There is one statement by Warren Buffett. Previous year question, I'm not able to find it. I think we'll get it, no issue, right? So in aptitude, you have to use this. So aptitude, I said whenever there is a question, write two dimensions. One dimension is here, second dimension is here. Your conclusion will be this for aptitudes, right? And then it is often said that political and ethics do not go together. Where you can use this. Essence of ethics at political level You can use one way. The other way is political attitudes. There is one chapter or one topic called political attitudes. Right? You have to use it there. People say that politics and ethics do not go together, but they go together. How? As said by Mahatma Gandhi. 7 Sins of Gandhi. Right? You have to use that type of things. Yes, Gandhiji 7 Sins. Right, Kavya? Correct. So this is, now look at this, essence of ethics. Now look at the previous, this is the beauty of previous year questions. Essence of ethics, they are asking you, and they have given this. The role of ethics and values in enhancing comprehensive national power. What is that comprehensive national power? National power is going to be increased comprehensively. Together, national power is going to get increased. How? It is going to help in human capital formation. It is going to help or develop your soft power. It is going to develop social harmony. Now, whenever there is a question, what is ethics and what is the essence of ethics? How to think to write the answer? Your previous year question, this itself is having 50% of the answer. Right? Ethics helps in building up the comprehensive national power such as human capital, soft power, and social harmony. Right? And then you will write about human capital. You say how human capital is going to be formed with ethics. Soft power is going to be developed because of ethics. Give some examples, like, right, because of the philosophy of Hinduism, that is called the mixed ideology, mixed pot ideology, melting pot ideology. We, right from ancient times to the modern times, we had this soft power, that is called the power of culture, right? Social harmony, how it is leading to social harmony. I said the example of Mahatma Gandhi. I said the example of India's independence, right? You can write this and you can substantiate. There are 3 subheadings here itself. The 4th subheading comes from this, in essence of ethics. 5th one is from environmental ethics. 6th one comes from the so-called ethics in international relations. So this is how you can write. And I said, whenever you are writing essence, it has more or less equal concepts in consequences of ethics. Acha, Rukmini has shared a new one. In looking for people to hire, you will look for 3 qualities: integrity, intelligence, and energy. And if they do not have the first, the other 2 will kill you. Where you can use, I was looking for this statement for Warren Buffett. I said in aptitude, you used one thing called, along with aptitude, ethics is very important. Ethics and professional competency is very important in order to solve any issues, right? Now, the thing is, after writing that in aptitude, if you are ending this with the statement, I said you can end your ethics answers by using the so-called quotations. The best quotation for aptitude, or the best quotation whenever this term called integrity comes, you have to use this one, Warren Buffett, because he has given a beautiful statement. It is integrity, intelligence, and energy. Intelligence means professional competency, integrity means ethics, right? So he has been used both the things, and so it is perfectly apt for conclusions in aptitude. The first thing is, you got some dimensions to write about aptitude in the first thing, that is, it is equally important to be ethical along with professionally competent. That is one thing. And whenever you are ending, you can end by using this statement. Hope you are getting how the quotations, if you have prepared these quotations, it will be really helpful, right? And the second thing is, whenever you are writing essence of ethics or consequences of ethics in human actions, again, you can use Warren Buffett here. How? Consequences of ethics in human actions. You can say at the corporate level or at the function, at the governance level. It is very important to be ethical along with professionally competent. For example, as Warren Buffett has said, right? You'll use this. This is called reusing the same thing again and again, depending upon the situation. We should just understand where we have to apply the things. No need to study more, right? That is the reason why I said you have to think more rather than studying more. I hope you got one fair idea about this. Determinants of ethics. I said there are two determinants, space and time. This we'll discuss. Consequences, it has linkage directly with the essence of ethics. If your actions are ethical, then it is going to be a good consequence. Otherwise, it is going to be a bad consequence. Dimensions, I said, it is theory. Ethics in private and public life. You have one thing here that is called personal ethics and professional ethics, right? At personal level, at professional level, how you have to be. Now look at this, essence of ethics. This is the thing that you have to by heart because it is directly there in the syllabus. Look at this, human values, lessons from the lives. Remove this, lessons from the lives of great teachers, administrators. We will be writing just in one format. If it is asking in one direction, you will write this. If it is asking in another direction, you will write it in another direction. That is what I said. Role of family, society, educational institutions in inculcating value. They are the tools to inculcate values. Tools to inculcate ethics or tools to inculcate attitudes, tools to inculcate human values. Whenever you are writing something about attitudes, human values, ethics, you have to use them as the primary institutions which can build all this. Now, whenever they ask a question on values, you'll be defining values, what is a value and everything, and then you'll be thinking about socio-ethical values. What are the ethical values that should be present in the society as such, right? And then they will ask you the difference between the laws, ethics at societal level, how it is functioning or how it is misfunctioning. Say, for example, Sabarimala incident. In Sabarimala, the court has said that, okay, you can go and allow women, but in the society, people are not allowing women to enter into Sabarimala temple. More or less the same thing is applicable for triple talaq or anything, right? Though the law is forward, but still the society is very backward. Your society is not as much developed as the political level is developing or the political front, lawmaking is developing. This is how you have to think about socio-ethical values. Whenever you write about values, one dimension is social values, individual values. You'll start with individual, you'll go with society, you'll go with family, right? Now look at this. The crisis of ethical values in modern times is traced to a narrow perception of good life. The crisis of ethical values in modern times is traced to a narrow perception. Now look at this. I said there is one chapter called Essence of Ethics, right? Whenever you are answering Essence of Ethics, you can say the same thing. Today, if you look at the crisis that people are facing or why we do not have ethical values is because of narrow perception of good life, right? So ethics helps you to develop one thing called the broad perspective of life. By inculcating ethical values, it can help you in broad perspective of life. So this is the essence of ethics. And when you develop a broad perspective of ethics, you are going to come out of the crisis that modern society is facing. That is going to be the consequence of ethics. You are understanding? The same question has ethics, essence, and essence, right? Without commonly shared and widely entrenched moral values and obligations, neither the law nor the democratic government nor even the market economy will function properly. Where can you use this? Without commonly shared and widely entrenched moral values and obligations. neither the law, nor the shared democratic government, nor even the market economy will function. Where can you use this? అర్థమవుతుందా నేను ఏం చెప్తున్నాను? Yes, you can use it in essence of ethics. Okay, good. And consequences of ethics. And you can also write what are the importance of human values, that is positive values. Values can be of two types. It can be of positive sets or it can be of negative sets, right? Whenever you are writing ethics or about some values, then you have to use these things. You can also use this ethics in governance, right? In governance, ethics is very important because it is going to lead to the functioning of a democratic government. It is going to lead to the functioning of the law properly, right? Even if you are thinking about ethics in economic terms, you can use this. So more or less, even for a private institution, such as a corporate, to run the business properly, commonly shared and widely entrenched moral values are very important. So if they ask what is the function of ethics in private institutions or corporates, then you have to write ethics is going to play a crucial role for the market economy to function properly. Otherwise, the market economy is not going to function. As a result, people are, or the investors are going to face losses, right? You can give examples. What happened in 1961 or 1967 at Allahabad? If you have studied this in internal security, there is one thing called communalism, right-wing terrorism, right? In 1967, along these stretches, such as at Allahabad, at Roorkela, right? At Jamshedpur, right? What are the things that has happened? Because of the communal conflicts, which is non-ethical, all these industries were shut down for many years. As a result, the economic activity along these areas have been hit very hard. So you can write in this way. So ethics in a society is very important. Now look at this. If you have studied internal security from this angle, you can use that here. This is called the linking of topic again. The current internet expansion has instilled a different set of cultural values which are often in conflict with the traditional values. Now the thing where you can use is whenever you are writing about value system in the second chapter, right? You have to use one dimension called how values are getting affected. If they ask what are the systems that are influencing the value system, then the social media or the current internet expansion. You can also write this as the challenges in governance. Internet, right? You can write cyber crimes and everything there. But whenever they are asking about values, you have to think that how internet is influencing the set of cultural values, right? And look at this. Whenever you are writing values, there are two things which they are defining. One is different set of cultural values, that is the modern day values and the traditional values. So value system, it will be positive, it will be negative, and then it will also have the so-called modern value system or the traditional value system. Now, whenever there is a question like nuclear families are causing a disaster to the ethical values, then think on this. Nuclear families, whether they are going to really cause, because they are going to set some standards for modern value system. If the traditional value system is not there, because giant families or anything, if it is being replaced by nuclear families, then the traditional value system is being replaced by some modern value system. Now, in this modern value system, everything is not wrong or everything is not bad, right? So you can think in these lines and you can think, okay, I can get an answer from this. So this is the dimension that you are going to get from this. Values, there are two types of values, good and bad, traditional and modern. So whenever you are comparing that the world is changing, that is why moral values are declining. Never go with that concept. Because though the world is changing, the set of values are replaced by new set of values, which is more or less equally having some good advantages and disadvantages that the traditional system even has. So think on those lines. Social values are more important than economic values in the context of inclusive growth of a nation. Now look at this, how they have repeated this question. Socio-ethical values, and then they are asking one thing called social values are more important than the economic values. In the context of inclusive growth of nation. Inclusive growth is going to have something in governance, right? Whenever you are thinking about governance, you have to give about inclusive growth. How inclusive growth is going to happen? Through ethical values. Which ethical values are going to play? Social values as well as economic values, right? Now they have given it is going to play a more important role than economic values. You have to take yes, but at the same time, you have to explain, no, this is not only the thing, even economic values are also important along with the social values. Don't go with one set of thinking, have two dimensions, right? So in governance, inclusive growth can be possible because of ethics. Now understand this, essence of ethics, consequences of ethics, good governance, because inclusive growth is happening, right? The same thing. The substantiation for this answer is going to come here. Human capital is going to get built up because of that inclusive growth. Because of that inclusive growth, it is going to lead to social harmony, right? Now look at this. Values keep on changing with time and situation, while others strongly believe that there are certain sets of eternal and universal values. You can use the same sentence by replacing values with ethics, right? Now, determinants of ethics. I said they are determinant on space and time factor, right? Now, if you are going and using this, values keep on changing with time and situation. Replace values and ethics. This is going to be the determinant of ethics. I said it depends upon the time, it depends upon the space or the situation, while others strongly believe that there are certain universal and ethical values. So whenever you are writing about determinants of ethics or determinants of value system, you have to write about the time constraints, the space constraints. Along with this, you should also mention that there are certain values which are universal, which will stand always. So this is the determinants of ethics in the topic 1, in the chapter 1, right, in the first subheading. Now you have to give how they are changing as per time, how they are changing as per time, and then you have to mention some universal values which will be always applicable, right? You have to go ahead with it. And we'll see what are those universal values which can be applied over a period of time. Now she has given one more thing that is called role of education, role of family, education, and in family, education, and society, right? Education. Education is not an injection, it is an effective and pervasive tool for all-round development of individual and social transformation. This you can use for giving some, if they ask any question, say for example, if they ask any questions, how political attitudes can be built up, how you can pursue the people, how you can bring the behavioral changes in the people, right? If some midday meals case was given and if people are not ready to eat, right? Then if they ask any social if there is some vaccination hesitancy, which is going to happen, right? Then how can you make them? So spread information or education. So at the individual level, I said that it has to start at the family, then it has to go to the school, then it has to go to the society. In the schools, qualitative education is going to be the most important thing, and you have to use these type of quotations. Education is going to play, because it is going to develop an individual holistically, and which is going to lead social transformation, right? Whenever there is something, how can it be inculcated? If there is a question asking you, what are the measures with which you can overcome this? Then you have to write, it has to start at the family, it has to start at the school level, it has to go with society. At the school level, qualitative education is very important, because education is not just an injection, it is an effective and pervasive tool for all round development of an individual and social transformation. If you are writing this thing, then it is going to add value. All human beings aspire happiness. Socrates said this, right? How you can use this? All human beings aspire for happiness, right? By the end of the life, or by the end of your action, consequences of ethics in action is going to give you happiness, and happiness is going to be the ultimate goal of any human. Whether it is you or whether it is me, happiness is going to be the ultimate goal. So that is being reached by the so-called your ethical living. So essence of ethics, consequences of ethics, essence of values, essence of the foundational values of civil servants, everything all lead to here, happiness.